welcome back. Hopefully you've been able to construct a working prototype for your water wheel, and it's all working. So for day 4, you're going to want to make some data measurements and also record some observations. So let me go over to my camera because I just want to look at my water wheel again. Okay, and on that data sheet that I have, there's a couple different things you want to measure. So you should also have a couple tools. So a measuring tape, definitely need that. And you want to measure in centimeters, totally fine. You could measure in centimeters or inches. Both would even be better. But anyway, so one thing is the length of the string. So you want to measure the length of the string that is being wound by the rod. So you want to do that. The distance, or the diameter, which is the distance across the center of your water wheel. So looking at like this. So and that's called the diameter. So what is the diameter of your water wheel? Would that make a difference if it was larger plates or smaller plates? Would that make a difference? I don't know. Weight of your washers. So if you're using one washer, or if you're very competitive and you're like, well, I want to lift more washers than the other team, you know, that could be fun. You should have a gram scale and weigh your washers, see how much mass you're actually lifting. Very important. Next one is a total number of rotations to complete the full lift. So when you're running your water wheel, how many rotations did the water wheel actually make? And you can have somebody count that. What I would do would be go ahead and mark, or with a marker or something, maybe just color one of your cups or spoons. That way when it makes one rotation, you're able to mark which cup is one full rotation. That way you have a benchmark to count. So you want to count how many full rotations did it take for this string to wind and totally lift your washer to the very top of your water wheel. So how many rotations did that take? In addition, you also want to time. How much time did it take for your water wheel to do that work, to lift your washer or washers to the top of the water wheel? So we want to do some data there. It might take you a couple of times to try that out. If you have time, you could also repeat those measurements a couple of different times. It's very important that scientists record their data, but also repeat their trials just in case something happens. If you get the same numbers, you know you're doing everything correctly. And then there's a couple questions, like if you look at the number of rotations and the time it took, how could you increase the amount of rotations in that same time? So we want our water wheel to be more productive, be more efficient. If it's rotating more times within the same time frame, that means it's working better. You're going to get more productivity out of your water wheel. So what could you do to make those rotations increase and do the work a little bit faster? And then what other factors could influence the water wheel? So what else could affect how productive or efficient your water wheel is? Is it, different types of cups, maybe smaller cups, larger cups, maybe using spoons instead of cups? I didn't try spoons, so maybe somebody uses spoons and it's working a lot better. Maybe even the type of plates you use. So there's all sorts of different factors you can think about. And also, what would you change if you wanted to change something about your water wheel that you think would make it completely better and more efficient and increase productivity? what would you change, and you can draw a diagram and label that diagram and show those changes. Day 4, doing a full test. You did the prototype, you tested the prototype, but let's actually make some measurements about our water wheel. And then the cool thing is you can share your measurements with other groups and see if you guys got the same results or different results, because that's what scientists do too. They share their results and they try to understand each other's results and conclusions based on the data that they collected. So go ahead and get started on making your final results there. Run your water wheel, and really hope you enjoyed this. I know I did. It's a lot of fun when you put something together and actually see it work. It's a great feeling. So engineering is a lot of fun, and you learn so much more. I know when I was doing this unit, learned a lot more about the way water can be used in so many different ways to generate power and be used as energy, ways I didn't even know. So hopefully you learn some things away as well. And thank you guys, and we will see you next time.